In this lesson, we will learn how to place an order for a specific contract from our application to TWS. So let's open our editor. I've already opened createorder.py file, which we had created in one of our earlier lessons. So for this lesson, I'm going to use this script as the starting point. So I'll copy this script and create a new script, paste it over here, and let's save this as place order.py. Let's close this. So in this script, we have already created an Apple stock contract, and we have also created a buy limit order to purchase 10 shares at limit price of 140. So the only thing that is remaining to be done is send this order for this specific contract to TWS. And to do this, we are going to make use of a method in eClient class called place order. So let's open the Interactive Brokers online documentation and go to classes, class list, IB API, then click on eClient, and here we'll see this place order method. So this place order method places or modifies an order. This method takes in 3 input parameters. First parameter is the order ID, and the documentation says that it's the order's unique identifier. Use a sequential ID starting with the ID received at the next valid ID method. So if you remember from one of our earlier lessons, we discussed that whenever our application is successfully able to connect with TWS, this next valid ID method is automatically triggered. And as you can see, we are already assigning the value that this next valid ID method gives to the next valid order ID variable or property in our trading app class. So we can use this value as the first parameter for place order method. So let's go back to the documentation. The documentation further says that if a new order is placed with an order ID less than or equal to the order ID of a previous order, an error will occur. This means that every time we place a new order, we need to increment the order ID because we cannot use the same order ID for multiple orders. In this lesson, this won't be a problem because we're only going to place one order on TWS, but in future lessons, wherever we place multiple orders, you will see that we will increment the order ID. The second parameter is the contract, and this is the orders contract, and we have already defined the contract for Apple stock. So we already have this. Third parameter is the order, and again we have already defined the buy limit order. So we have everything that we need to place the order. Let's go back to our editor. Let's write a comment, place order. And first thing we need to do is fetch this next valid order ID. So what we can do is create an order ID variable and assign the value of next valid order ID to it. And finally, we can call the place order method. So remember that since trading app class is derived from eClient and eRepo classes, therefore all the methods that are inside eClient and eRepo are also available in the trading app class. And since app object is created from trading app, therefore this place order method is also available inside this app object. So the first parameter we will specify is order ID. Next, we need to specify the contract, and we have this C1 over here. So let's copy this and let's specify the third parameter as the order O1, which is a limit order. Let's save this script, and now let's run this script. So let's open TWS and also open command window, And as you can see, I am already inside my codes directory and I have activated IB API underscore env environment. So let's run place order script. And here you can see that we are successfully able to place buy limit order with limit price of 140 and quantity of 10 shares.